Number 1 in Yerevan.
Radio 103.1.
Rafi, is home a place?
Ina, home is a feeling.
Rafi, is home a place?
Ina, home is a feeling or just an idea.
Rafi, home is Hayastan.
Home is wherever I lay my hat down.
But it's the land under our feet, the air that we breathe, and the mountains that we see in a distance.
Ina, home is just another one of those four-letter words. Piss, love, and home.
No, home is where you were born and raised, Rafi.
Oh, come on.
No, listen.
Wait.
How can you say that?
Okay.
Can we agree on something, Rafi?
Yeah.
Home is where the heart is. Where is home?
We'll find the answer with someone new every Friday night from 9 to 10 with Ina.
And Rafi.
Homesick at home.
Have you ever felt that way?
Shot City.
I'm coming home again.
Hello, good evening, Rafi.
Yes. Lovely Ina John. How are you doing?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very good.
Busy guy.
Yeah.
Good evening, dear listeners of Radio Van. This is Homesick at Home on Radio Van 103.1, and this is our English-speaking evening show with someone new each time. And tonight we have a very, very musical guest.
Yes.
Anjim. Good evening.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
A violinist, a girl that traveled all the way from Kazakhstan to Belgium, and now she's here in Yerevan, Armenia, in our studio on the red couch.
Yay!
How are you doing?
Excellent, brilliant, fantastic. I'm happy to be here tonight with you, and I'm happy to be in Armenia, in Yerevan. Yeah.
And since,
tell us what brings you here.
and since you're so happy, please tell us about your happy trip to.
Yeah. I actually came to visit my very best friend, Arpini Kakobyan. She's a singer and cellist. And we met each other in Belgium in school. We used to study together. And now she lives in America. I live in Belgium, so we couldn't find a way to see each other, so she invited me to come and see Armenia. So I'm happy I made it to Armenia.
Hello, you can say hello to her now. She's somewhere here.
We're sure she's listening
she's
somewhere,
close.
right? Somewhere in the building.
Yeah.
And before we start, I'd like to remind our listeners and also your fans, your friends, and everybody who would like to watch, not only listen us live, you can go to our Facebook page, Radio Van FM 103.1, and watch our live broadcast right now. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and write comments underneath the link, and we're more than open to answer them.
But you cannot call us.
You cannot call us. we only have
I'm sorry.
we only have 1 hour. We want to enjoy this show. Our guest. Okay, so we say thanks to Arpenik that you.
Yes,
visited
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Arpenik.
Thanks to Arpenik, I'm here tonight with you.
Yeah. So how long have you been here in Armenia now?
It's my actually last night tonight. I'm leaving in a couple of hours back for Brussels.
Oh, no.
And I'm here already for 6 days.
Uh-huh.
So it's my short vacation, which, I'm happy to spend in Armenia, in Yerevan. And it's a lovely city and very, very kind and very friendly people.
Very nice.
I love it. And the food, oh my God.
What's your favorite?
Everything.
Right answer.
I love it. I can't stop eating. My manager, before I was leaving for Yerevan, because we had the day before I arrived in Yerevan, I had a concert in Athens. So he told me, he was like, "Oh my God, Anjim, I don't like that you are going to Yerevan. Remember, on the 5th of June we have show. You must fit in your dress." So, but I couldn't control myself, so I ate everything what I wanted.
You know,
Good, we're glad
our
to hear
food
that.
is so healthy and
Exactly, it's
organic,
fresh.
so it's you will lose the weight easily if you gained it.
Also,
Yeah.
does Armenia have that kind of reputation that if you go there, you're going to eat a lot? Like,
I don't know, but the thing is, like, in Kazakhstan, we know that all these Kafkas foods, it's super tasty, it's delicious, and it's lots of meat. So when you think about meat, it makes you feel like, okay, probably I will gain some weight.
Exactly, you should know that, and they also force you to eat. If you visit someone's house,
That's true.
especially,
That's
you need
true.
to eat the first, the second, the third, the dessert,
Yes.
tea, coffee.
And I made that mistake far too many times where everything tastes so good. I clean my plate, like there's nothing left. It's shiny, and that's a message that I'm still hungry. So if I keep eating, and they just keep piling it on, I don't know how to be polite and
I
just
know
say
the
no.
feeling. I'm doing the same all these days.
But Anjim, do you know we have this saying in Armenia? Well, especially they teach this to kids. They say, "Clean your plate, otherwise your husband or wife will be ugly."
Right.
The
Well,
kids.
then I should have super handsome husband in this future.
That's why I take other people's plates and clean those too.
You want to have several wives, Rafi-chan? One is not enough for you? Okay, let's go back to... Okay, and so you don't have any Armenian blood, any...
No, I'm a pure Kazakh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I am sure.
Positive? Okay.
Though
According to
people,
Armenians, probably not. Right?
though people I met in Armenia, they say like, oh, you could be Armenian.
Yes,
the way
exactly.
you eat,
Exactly.
you eat like real Armenian. So yeah.
Have you got a chance to go outside of Yerevan much while you were staying here?
Yes, we made a nice tour. So we actually, Arpinik, she took me to Tatev Monastery.
Nice.
But
nice.
on the way to Tatev, we traveled. So we went to
Horvira?
Horvera, and then we went to Hinareni Winery, and then after that we went to Hardnadzor to stay in these hotels in barrels. It was really a nice experience,
I've never been.
It's an eco resort.
Did you get drunk in Areni?
Well, we had some wine tasting. No, I didn't get drunk.
Did Arpenik?
No. It was.
No,
No, of course not. Not while she's listening.
She's blinking and no.
And then after that we went to Noravang, and it was an experience. It was absolutely a very nice experience. And then we stayed night over there, and on the next day we went to Tatev Monastery, which is a special thing, and I'm really glad I saw it.
Very cool. Very cool. We were talking a little bit beforehand, before we came onto the radio, and I was saying about how beautiful the
And
mountains
you
are.
asked all the questions.
I pretty much, know everything
Thank
for the
you,
next
Rafi.
hour. Yeah. But I loved your response to when I was explaining how I thought the mountains were so majestic and gorgeous, and
Exactly, but for me, for example,
you.
you can't impress me with mountains, because I'm Kazakh girl, I'm coming from Kazakhstan, and
Right.
we have fantastic mountains. So for me, it's something I love looking at the mountains.
So
It's
do you
beautiful.
feel home here?
In a way, yes. But what impressed me a lot, for example, on these Wings of Tatev, when we were on the way on this cable way, which is, by the way, I've learned that it's the longest cableway in the world.
Yes.
And on the way to the monastery, I saw everything is beautiful, everything is green, beautiful mountains, landscape fantastic, and all of a sudden, somewhere in the middle, waterfall. How come? How is this possible? How nature can create such beautiful things?
And
Yeah,
all
and
of a
all-
sudden, right here comes an advertisement break.
speaking of beauty, nothing better than a commercial. So please.
Stay tuned. This is Homesick at Home. We're here till 10 p.m. having a nice chat with Anjim. Don't change your channels. We're here with you.
Radio
One.
12 փաստ կարասի մասին ցանցի 12-րդ տարեդարձին։
Փաստ համար 7 2013 թվական Կարասը բացեց իր թվով 8-րդ սպասարկման մասնաճյուղը քաղաք Ծաղկաձորում ընտանեկան ռեստորան ֆորմատով Կարաս 12 տարի ձեր կողքին
Пока все прохлаждаются, мы работаем. Реклама на Радио Ван. Работает, работает и работает. Կազմակերպությանը անհրաժեշտ են օնլայն խաղավարուհիներ, ֆիքսված бարձր աշխատավարձ եւ բոնուսներ։ Մանրամասների համար զանգահարել 044 00 2020 հեռախոսահամարով։ 99-летию Первой Республики посвящается. 3 июня. Ереван. Площадь Республики. Мировая премьера грандиозного мега-шоу от The Black Blues Оркестра и Владимира Аветисяна. The Anthology of Blues. Мегаватты звука, мегатонны света, мегаэкран, мега-шоу с участием мегазвезд блюза. Моника Грин, Линдси Буэно, Линда Мол, Реми Абрам, Дан Ариса и многие другие. 3 июня. Площадь Республики. Вход свободный. Концерт состоится при поддержке Министерства культуры Армении и мэрии Еревана.
Алло, Барьер,
Привет. Ну, где встречаемся?
Деряхтум.
Извини, я не могу. Я жене изменил. 1 раз. Так что в рай я уже не попаду.
Դրախտում չէ, դրախտում, այն որ բուսաբանական այգու մոտ է։
Ресторан Драк. Это там, где все как в раю?
Ճիշտ այդպես, հա, հենց տենց ամեն ինչ ոնց որ դրախտում։
Все заметано. Встречаемся.
Դրախտում։
Ресторанный комплекс «Драхт» рядом с ботаническим садом. Телефон 62 22 02.
Անհավանական առաջարկ մայիսի 15-ից հունիսի 30-ը ցանկացած Samsung ապրանքատեսակ 12 ամիս ապարեկով գնելու դեպքում 0% տոկոսադրույք, 0% սպասարկման վճար, 0% կանխավճար, ոչ մի հավելյալ վճար։ Mobile Center բջջային հեռախոսների եւ աքսեսուարների խանութների ամենամեծ ցանցը Հայաստանում։
Для рекламы звоните 540002.
I'm sorry, Rafi, but I miss Steven.
Sorry, Ina, but he's gone back home.
But this is his home.
Is it?
Stepan Aritun! Homesick at home. Yes, we're back.
Yes, we are.
And we want to know, how did you choose this music and the instrument in particularly?
Well, it was never actually my choice. I'm coming
Who
from
forced you?
my parents, my mother,
You can say hello to them.
Yeah, hi mom.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you,
yeah.
mom, for everything, and daddy, thank you. No, but actually, I'm coming from a very artistic family. So my grandfather, from my father's side, he's a very known. He used to be. He passed away. He was very famous actor in Kazakhstan. He used to work for 40 years in a drama theater, and he was participating in many movies and TV series, something like that. So, and my grandfather from my mom's side, he used to be a musician, a dombra. He was a folk musician. He was playing dombra, which is our folk instrument.
What is that instrument like?
It's a folk instrument which has 2 strings, yeah, and it's like you hold it as a guitar.
Ah, okay.
And
Dombra.
Dombra, yeah.
I like the word.
It just rolls off the tongue.
He was also known in the music world, and my mom, she studied in the same school where I did. She's a pianist, and my dad is a filmmaker. So all this came together. That's but I tried also dance and art, but nothing worked except music. And then my parents, when they saw that I have a talent, probably a chance to do it good, they really forced me. So it was
No pressure whatsoever, right? Is that what it sounds like? Like you had to excel at some kind of art form, right?
Well, there was pressure. They were like really forcing me to practice every day. I had private teachers, and the school I studied in a specialized Kulaj Baysiteva school, which is like really makes many stars today. Those people who represent like Kazakh musicians, most of them came from this school. It's a really very like super.
Anjim, did you have a happy childhood?
Yes, I think so. Yes, no. Yes, I did. I did have. Yeah. Though, like my parents, they were strict only with my studies. For the rest, I was really free. Like on summer holidays, they were always taking care that I do something else. For example, in summer, I was going like to do some extra dance lessons or I don't know, swimming or something like that. That I would have kind of a hobby. Because for this, I didn't have time during year. Like other kids, for example, they go to the school and on the weekends they do something else. For me, I didn't have time for that.
Yeah. Is being part of the arts a common theme in Kazakhstan? Like, are many families have artists in their family? Is it promoted to be an artist of some kind? Or is it very unusual like this?
Well, I don't know. There are. I mean, the cultural life is pretty on a good level in Kazakhstan. So we have many different theaters. We have we have ballet, we have music, everything is art. So yeah, probably people have artists in their families, but in my family everybody's an artist.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. But it paid off, all the practice. So tell us where you got to.
Yeah, so when I graduated from the high school in Kazakhstan, after that I came to study to Belgium. I went to Belgium to study.
Why Belgium?
Because in school at the age of 14, because I started playing violin at the age of 5, I started with the violin, and at the age of 14 I switched to viola, which is actually the same instrument, but it has the register and the timbre is a bit lower and the size a bit larger, but you hold it the same way as the violin. It's from the violin's family, and I always wanted, it was my dream to study in a prestigious class of Mikhail Kugel. He's very known in post-Soviet Union countries. He's an excellent viola player, and he lives today. He lives in Belgium, and he used to teach. Now he retired. He used to teach in Ghent Conservatory and in Maastricht in Holland. So I got in touch with him. I sent him my recording. I asked if I have a chance actually to get into his class.
At the age of what, 14?
No. That was 18,
Yeah.
after high school. And he called me back in 3 months after I sent him my recording, and he said, listen, you know what, there is an entrance exam in July. If you can make it, come, I will keep one place for you. So I went and I did my entrance exams, and then from 2009 I started studying in his class, and I'm super thankful to him because he gave me really a lot.
Wow, very cool.
What was your first prize or award? When was it?
Oh, that was still back in Kazakhstan when I was 14, when I actually just switched to viola. In the school, I will tell you a little shortly a story why I switched to the viola. Because when you play violin you must practice a lot, because it's the most difficult instrument from all the instruments. Like violin and piano, they are the most difficult instruments. So to play violin you have to practice a lot, and I was so lazy and my parents were forcing me to practice. I was like, damn, what to do? So, but viola has like kind of a bad reputation in the music world. Like viola is mostly bad violinists. They go to play viola because in the symphony, for example, they always have the easiest parts and everything. So I thought, that's for me. Like I should switch to the viola. Then I don't need to practice, you know. So I switched to viola, and I was so happy for the first 3-4 months because everything felt like it was easy, because I just switched, so they were very easy with me. They didn't give me like really difficult tasks or pieces to play. They were like really keeping it easy for me. And then because I was one of the few viola players in the whole school, there was a republic competition for young musicians, so they had to send someone as a viola player. So they picked me, and I'm like,
because you were the only one.
Yeah, why me? They said like, you have to go, which means to participate at the competition you have to practice. And I was like, no,
life is so unfair.
I so much didn't want to practice, and now they force me to practice even more because I have such responsibility. I'm going and representing my school, and somehow I made it. I got the first prize. I was first team.
So how did it feel? Did you feel more responsible?
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's a good point. You know, it's the preparation to the competition was really like very tough, and I was like, why am I doing this? Why it's too much. I just want to like other kids go outside and play and skip. Yeah. But then the moment when I was on the stage and I got my first prize, I was like, well, that feels great. That actually feels good. That makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
So then I thought maybe I should continue with this. Maybe I can do it good, and then it will give me certain satisfaction. And then also if I can make happy my family, especially my parents, and I hope I know they're proud of me today. So yeah, it's actually their prize, let's say, not mine. It's my mom's prize.
Oh, how thankful.
Have you ever tried playing any other instruments? Or once you went to the viola, was it said and done? That's what you focused on?
Yeah, we also play piano because we have to. It's obligatory to play piano in the school. You have to learn playing piano. Wow. But I wasn't really good at it. I still have nightmares, like if I will not play my piano exam, then I won't get my diploma or something like that. Really, like musicians, we have this horror nightmare, like really nightmares, like like my nightmare. I'm going on stage and I forget the music. I don't know what to play anymore.
I can totally picture that.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of horrors, have you had any scary or weird or I don't know, this kind of stories?
Yeah, the strangest thing that ever happened on stage.
Oh my God! Yes. There was so far. It was I think the only really scary story I have in my past. It happened to me and to many people who were like together with me. It was a bit more than 2 years ago. It was in January 2000.
Terrorists attacked the musical.
Don't spoil it.
No, don't say this, please. No, it was in 2015 in January in Switzerland, in Lucerne. I was invited to play in the student orchestra of Lucerne Conservatory, and it was arranged by my other very good friend, Anna Katarina. And it was very international project. So it's students and a guest conductor from Germany, Israel Yinon, who passed away. Rest in peace, Israel. He's known for conducting Jewish music. He used to be Jewish as well. So we played this concert in KKL. It's one of the biggest concert halls in Switzerland. It's the concert. We are playing Strauss Alpen Symphony in Alps, actually, in Switzerland. Wow. And so that was during the concert, during the symphony. And by the way, his girlfriend was in the orchestra. She was playing the first hobo. So
I'm still waiting. What's gonna happen?
She was playing her very first, her big solo in the symphony. And after that, there is something happened. He fell down off the stage. So he fell. The conductor. He fell into the audience, into the first row. He touched the audience like with his hat.
Not even.
I know.
We were on stage. We were playing. And all of a sudden, we like half of the orchestra stopped because we didn't know, like we had nobody to follow anymore. But some musicians who apparently were not looking at the conductor, they were continue playing, so you could still hear like from different sides of the stage that there is music coming. So we stopped, and of course there was shock in the audience. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And we were on stage. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know what happened. So in the audience, someone started calling if there is any doctors. Apparently, there were 3 doctors. They ran to him, and then comes the manager of the project on stage, and he tells the orchestra to leave the stage now. So we left the stage.
What are you guys thinking when he says?
We didn't know.
That?
We didn't know what happened. We had no idea because it's a shock moment. Like when you study in the conservatory, there is no subject or no teacher who will teach you like saying like how to act if a conductor, like if something happens to a conductor on stage. But apparently he passed away. He had a heart attack. He passed away on stage during the symphony, just right after his girlfriend's solo. I don't know if it's I'm sorry.
Right after his girlfriend's solo.
Yes, she had a very big solo, and after he was turning to show at the entrance of the cellists, their entrance, and then he fell back like into the audience.
Maybe it was a happy death.
I mean, he he died doing what he loves. I'm sure, right? Like at his peak, at the prime.
When this happened, later when I spoke to, of course, people knew this. Next morning, around the conservatory and concert hall, there were like New York Times, all the like top TV channels and newspapers. They were all there for interview because this never happens. This doesn't happen once in 100 years because you can't program this, to die on stage. And later, when I spoke to some of my friends, conductors, they told me, they said like, well, I wish I would die the same way someday because what can be. And because of that, he became actually even more famous than he used to be before.
Wow.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, excuse me.
And I don't know. I mean, I feel bad, but I laugh because I can just kind of picture it all. I mean, it's a serious thing, but I can also picture during the conduction.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from there. To be honest.
Okay, I'll go from here. Okay, Rafi, just
you.
calm down. Take your
trying.
time. Anjum, you now play the first violin, right?
Yes, I play because I am a viola player. I play viola in a symphony orchestras in classic music, but right now I as well work as the first violinist in the exclusive strings. It's an electric string quartet which is based in Belgium, but it's a very international project. So all the 4 girls, we are all coming from different countries.
Cool.
And this is completely different from classical music,
It's
right?
totally another genre. It's entertainment, it's pop, it's everything is different, and that's why I wanted to do this, because for once in my life I wanted to try something totally different, totally new, which is still I still play music. It's still music, but it's another genre. It's another concept.
Do you enjoy it? And if you had to choose between pop and classic, what would you
I don't know.
prefer?
I can't choose. That's why I'm trying to sit on 2 chairs.
To combine.
To combine. Yeah, I'm not giving up my classic music career and playing in orchestras because this is something I do for 20 years of my life. I cannot just live it.
Wow, yeah.
But to try something new, it's a challenge. And I had a challenge. And I must tell, the manager, he didn't want to hire me before I would lose 10 kilos.
Oh.
Yeah, because he said, like, this is another concept. It's not classic music. You have to be skinny. So he challenged me. And
I can never play.
Oh, come on.
Can I go home?
So the performance is not just it's not just a musical performance.
It's entertainment. It's everything. It's
So is there dancing involved as
everything.
well? Light show is what I'm picturing.
Singing, talking to the audience. It's a live interaction with the audience. So, for example, I have the microphone and I'm talking to the audience during the show. Like, it's fun because you are connected with the audience.
So the audience feels that you're alive.
Exactly, exactly. It's not like just a tape playing, It's really us. We are in every performance. Every time is so different. Though we play the same music, it's a standard show we play. But now in 1 month we will have a totally new show. We just recorded, like, before I came to Armenia, a week before, we had a studio recording. So we have a new show. We'll have new costumes because every costume is a special costume. It's not just, you don't put just a dress or something. There are designers. They make special costumes for us, outfits for the stage. So they are, we have one costume. It's a plumes, and we are wearing a very heavy plumes on our heads, which is about 2 kilos carrying. So imagine for 30 minutes wearing this on your head and playing and keep smiling.
Right.
Keep waving.
Yeah, waving, smiling, dancing,
talking,
super high heels. We are on stage on very high heels. It's a special thing.
Don't you want to plan a concert in Armenia?
Yeah, I was going to say, when are you guys coming to Armenia?
We would love to do this. We have to arrange something. The thing is, we
You need to give this idea to your organizers.
Yes, we should tell our manager to arrange something in Armenia. We would love to be here, of course.
Fantastic. And how long have you been doing that again?
For 2 years. I'm there already for 2 years. Yeah.
And you guys tour around to different countries, or?
Yes, everywhere in Europe. And before I came in the group, they went to Dubai, Qatar. I didn't get there yet, so hopefully we'll have concerts there as well. But for now, we are mostly traveling in Europe.
And what is your audience like? Because it's a very different sound, right? You're going from classical music over to pop.
Yeah,
more
it's
of a
another.
pop
It's
sound,
exactly. It's another audience. It's mostly it's because it's entertainment. It's parties. It's events.
yeah.
It's like big festivals. Really, a place where people come to party. It's not classic music where everyone is serious and it's in a big concert hall. It's really a party thing.
Very cool.
Audience is always happy and they're dancing, having cocktails, and yeah, it's a fun. It's really fun.
Very cool. Could you say the name of it again? Is there any way people can find it online or see something?
We have the website, and you can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, The Exclusive Strings.
The Exclusive Strings. Very cool.
And if you didn't choose music, what other things you would do? I mean, what would you do if you weren't in music?
It's a really difficult question. I don't know. Sometimes I ask myself, what could I do? What I do? I love doing many things. For example, I love cooking. Maybe I could cook. Maybe I could be a cook or chef. Maybe. I don't know. I love all these fashion things. Who knows? Maybe I could do something with this. Or I love learning languages. So
What's your favorite language?
English.
Yes?
Okay,
High five. Yeah.
dear listeners, Anjim speaks Kazakh, Russian, English, Dutch, and basic French.
Yes, almost
Very
five
impressive.
language. And here I'm learning Armenian a bit.
Yeah.
What are
She's
the
gonna surpass
words?
me, and I've
Yeah,
been here
go
for
ahead.
4 years.
Perform. Just
Şnora Karatun.
Yes.
good. One of the most important. Bercan. Şuna kalsın. Yeah. What inspires you? Well, because you also create, right?
What
Music.
inspires me? It's everything is mostly about music and nature. Everything what I don't know. Anything can be inspiring. Like nature can be inspiring. I don't know. Your friends can inspire you.
Can
your
depression
family.
be inspiring?
In a way, probably yes. It can create certain. It can lead you to some things probably you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like 2 years ago, I started following composition lesson in a conservatory, just because because I was a lazy student. So it was one of like I was looking for something.
You say you're lazy, but you're at the top of your game right now, right? Like you've accomplished quite a bit.
No, but seriously, like I started following 2 courses in the conservatory. It's vocal and composition because they were like they didn't require a very like strict exam or something. So I was looking for something like that where I can in a way not cheat, but I can come to these lessons and at the end I get my points. And then my teacher tells like, you have a nice voice. Why don't you try to sing something? And then I go to a composition lesson and my teacher, he asked me, what do you want to write? I'm like, obviously not a symphony or opera. I'm like, I want to write something easy, maybe a pop song or something.
Yeah.
And then it both happened. I wrote a song and I started singing and then I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this song? I should maybe record it. So I did record my song. After that, I thought, what should I do with this song now? I have the recording. And last year in December, I filmed my first video clip on iPhone.
And
I did everything myself.
You're doing this all by yourself, right?
Yes,
Like
yes,
from the
yes,
beginning to the end, the
Yeah.
recording, the performance.
Well, recording, no, of course, recording I'm doing in a studio. There are
okay.
people helping me, of course. I mean, but I write the music, the lyrics, the music myself, and people, there are producers who help me a bit with the arrangement. They record my song because I don't have a recording studio.
Yeah.
So I go to the studio, but the video clip, of course, I took my iPhone and I started filming. I said, if I'm good at selfies, I can be good in making.
Is the music video all from selfie that top angle that we see so often?
No, but
With a duck face.
but I used a lot my selfie stick, which I'm Asian, so I'm excused to use the selfie stick.
Jim, do you consider yourself more European now, once you've lived in Belgium for so long, or you still keep your traditional habits?
I've learned something.
Or a fusion, maybe?
Exactly. I'm trying to get the best things from all the cultures. Doesn't matter which nationality, which culture, whatever it is. Like, as long as I get to know something. Because when I left Kazakhstan for Belgium, I had total cultural shock.
Yeah.
Because it's another world, Europe, Western world. It's something completely different from the world I used to live in. Like in my country.
And I'm very sorry for my ignorance, but can you just tell us a little bit about Kazakhstan? Because I don't know what I pictured, to be honest. I don't picture much about Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
and it's
also-
my own fault. I don't know much about it.
And also, the things that you miss the most when
And
you're
also-
in Belgium, because our show is about being homesick when you're already home.
Yes.
I think this format fits you right.
Well, Kazakhstan, first of all, it's it's like 5 times France the size.
Yeah.
And it's a huge country, extremely beautiful. We've got everything: mountains, Caspian Sea, steppes, anything you want you can find in one country.
It's the great. There's lots of plains, right? Long stretches of flat land, along with lots of mountains.
Yes,
Yeah, am I picturing
yes.
this correctly?
And I'm coming
Yeah.
from Almaty, which is ex-capital, and today the capital of Kazakhstan is Astana. And by the way, we're in 5 or in 7 days the World Expo starts in Astana.
Oh.
So everybody is preparing
Congratulations.
for that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. And in Almaty we have beautiful mountains. It's like a wild Switzerland, you know? It's everything is like in Switzerland.
Hey, that's
but
supposed
it's
to be
a bit-
Armenia's tagline, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, well, could
the
be.
Switzerland
Yeah.
of the Caucasus, something like this.
Dilijan is the Switzerland of Armenia.
There you go. I knew somewhere in Armenia was the Switzerland
Yeah.
of somewhere else.
And
So I'm sorry.
Kazakhs, they used to be nomads. So I think I am actually being a nomad today, because my grandparents, they are Kazakhs, but they used to, for example, my grandfather from my mom's side, he came from China to Kazakhstan. And my grandfather from my dad's side, he came from Uzbekistan to Kazakhstan. So they went to their homeland, actually,
But
to
they
their
were
roots.
they were Kazakh, but
They were
living in
Kazakh.
other.
They were. It happened that they were born in another country, so they wanted to go back to Kazakhstan. And then my parents, they were born there. But then my parents, they wanted. It's also my parents. They wanted me to see the world. They wanted me to go somewhere else, because my parents, they grew up in Soviet Union when all the gates were closed, when you couldn't go
Yeah.
anywhere. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you didn't know what was happening there
Outside,
in the
somewhere.
other part of the world. So for my parents, it was important that I would be more open-minded, that I would travel the world, that I would see different cultures and different lives. So and then I left Kazakhstan now for Belgium.
So where is your home now?
Difficult. My daily life, of course, is in Belgium. Of course, everything. I work there. I have my friends. Everything is there. But my heart is always with Kazakhstan, because my family, everybody lives in Kazakhstan, and every time whenever I have a chance to go home, I just buy the ticket and I fly immediately home.
So home is where family is?
Home is
probably-
where your parents, I think so. Yeah.
And have your parents got a chance to come visit you?
Of course, many times they maybe, let's say, once a year they try to come to visit me in Belgium, and I try to take them like to France, Italy, all that they see other countries as well, and it's lovely.
Very
yeah.
cool.
So you
Very cool.
didn't say what you missed the most about.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Kazakhstan.
miss first of all, so far you understand that even food, everything you can get anywhere. You can cook it. I miss mostly my family. It's my parents, my grandparents, and friends, and the city I was born, the mountains. Because in Ghent, in the city in Belgium where I live, there are like all these old buildings, beautiful churches and castles, but there is no like.
The spirit is missing.
Yeah,
Spirit?
nothing green, no mountains. And I used to have mountains. For me, it's natural picture, like you are driving in a car and you just everywhere see mountains. So that's why in Armenia it's nice, because I see from the Arpinik's place, because I'm staying these days at Arpinik's place, and from her window you see Ararat.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's fantastic view. Yeah.
And you
So-
feel homesick at that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Good.
makes,
We
it
brought-
makes,
we
it
brought the
makes
right
me
guest, yeah.
feel like I'm home.
So what would your wedding be like? A traditional Kazakh wedding? Or a European
Someday.
style? Someday.
Well, of course. I would combine, but first of all, anyways, in Kazakh tradition we have 2 weddings. First is like it's the first wedding is a farewell to the bride. So
Ooh,
it's
interesting concept. I
so
like-
it's mostly the party is made for the
For the
bride's
parents,
family,
yeah.
for the bride's side.
Same here.
So most of the guests are bride's side, the family of of the bride, and few like the closest family of the grooms, so parents and brothers, sisters.
Men are ignored in Kazakhstan.
No,
I'm just joking.
no.
But even on the women's side, the men are still there, though, right?
No. There is no division. Of course, men and women, they're all there. I'm talking about that the first party is given by the bride's parents.
Right, okay.
So they give a party. It's a farewell to her, and it's kind of a sad party because at the end they put a white
goodbye.
silk material that she should walk on, and she shouldn't turn back. And at the end of this silk road, let's put it this way, is waiting her groom, her future husband, with his family. And the second wedding, which we call toy. Toy is it's a great party. It's a party.
grand
It's a happy,
happening.
It's a happy party.
Who doesn't love toys, right?
Kef. It's Kef.
It's Kef. Yeah.
It's a happy party, and then the groom side, of course, they are welcoming a new person in their family, so they throw a very happy party. And the today nowadays, of course, everybody makes it very traditional. Like the bride's party, the wedding, it's very traditional in a folk dresses with the folk music, accompanied by folk music and songs. It's really beautiful tradition. And
Very cool.
if one day when I will be getting married, I absolutely want to do it this way.
And how many kids do you want to have?
As many as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good answer, yeah. Why
I
not?
already have one, so I could have more.
Cool.
I would love to.
When you get married, so would you do it in Kazakhstan, or would you wherever you are in the world, wherever you're calling home at that moment? Well, I guess home was already, as we decided.
One wedding for sure in Kazakhstan, because I have very big family, and I don't know if they would all make it to come to wherever I am.
Yeah.
And it's funny to talk about this. I don't even have a boyfriend, and we talk about my wedding.
Yeah, I don't know. Because we're in Armenia. You know, in Armenia, we always just talk about weddings
Welcome
and who's
to
married
Armenia.
and how many kids.
No, I think it's the time to
That's
ask.
very true, though. It's such a weird thing to talk about.
I think it's the right time to ask Anjim, what irritates you in Armenia the most? Questions about weddings,
Yeah, has it happened yet? Have you been irritated here?
Irritated.
Any weird questions or
anything
cultural
strange or
things?
anything
No,
that you
there's
don't
nothing.
like?
Nothing really irritates. But what I experienced for the first time in my life when I got on the plane from Vienna to Yerevan, and for the first time in my life, I've seen so many Armenians at the same place. You know, and
It's a trouble.
It'll happen in Armenia, you know.
and there were like only very few foreigners. I think there were a couple of Americans, and I was the only Asian who entered this plane. So you can imagine they were all looking at me like who is she? Where is she going to?
Yeah. What's the story there? You know.
Yeah.
And could you? And do you understand
I
if
think
they're talking in
Anjim
Russian?
wanted to use the word staring, but she didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Yerevan, like really, we're walking on the street, and people like they really like they stare.
They stare,
Like
yeah.
they really. I don't know. I thought maybe because I am dressed somehow, or I don't know.
No, you just look differently.
Yeah, being different.
Maybe because I'm like in a restaurant we go to eat, like there are always people like watching you, you know.
How does she eat? Yes. What did she order on the menu?
An alien.
and of course, like I post pictures about Armenia and Yerevan on Facebook and Instagram, and many Armenian men, they add me and they send me messages inviting for a drink or dinner.
Are they sending?
which I didn't accept. I didn't go anywhere. No. I didn't go to any.
They don't
of
have a
these.
chance. Do they?
Well, let's
not
keep their
say-
hopes up. I
say
mean,
it
come on.
on
There's always
air
a
right
chance.
now.
If they send one of those gifts of flowers that underneath the comment bar, I think that always works. Yeah.
Well,
Anjim, how do you deal with failures? Both maybe failures and victories as a successful person in your career. What would you...
for myself, like
Yeah.
from my perspective. Well, success is something very relative. Like,
Yeah. How do you define success?
like you have things like you put goals and you want to achieve, for example, something, but it's strange as a human being. Sometimes at the moment when you achieve it, you have it, you don't feel
You don't
like
even know it. Yeah.
yeah, you're like, oh, okay, I have it. So, and then you look back and you're like, oh, God, did I really wanted to have this? Like back then, 2 years ago, did I really wanted to have this? And yeah, about failure, it's hard, it's tough, but in any case, I think it's a next step. It's something always to learn about. It's something that you can. I think it teaches you to get better, to learn about yourself, and to make yourself better. So I hope so. I try to, but I'm very positive. I'm like, sometimes when I fail in some things or something bad happens, I'm like saying like, okay, like whatever.
Okay, let's move on. You know what I read the other day? I said, well, crap.
Is that what you read? No.
Is speaking about a situation like crap is a good ground for a flower to grow. So
Wow, that is poetic. I like that very much.
So doesn't matter what situation you're in, you always have a chance to grow. This is how I get it, I guess.
So going back to music, I'm curious. What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to everything, anything.
But is there one music, like when you're relaxing or when you're studying, do you have different types of music for different occasions or moods, or is it just a little bit of everything?
Yes, for example, when I'm at home and I'm cooking or doing something, I mostly like to listen to some nice pop music to stay also up to date at what is happening today, like what people perform, what they sing. And classic music is always there. This is something, it's there. I play it every day. I listen to it without even thinking. It's just there and it's playing daily. Or it's Maria Callas, or it's Placido Domingo, or it's New York Symphony. There is always something playing. And I love also listen to Kazakh folk music, and I have many CDs of my grandfather where he plays the dombra, and this is something for me. This probably I listen when I feel very nostalgic, the moment when I miss home.
The homesick.
This is exactly. That's what brings me back to, and also like the moment when today I listen to the compositions, to what he recorded. It brings me back to my childhood, because when I was a kid, I was just playing at home, running around, and my grandfather, he was in his bedroom practicing these compositions, which today I have on the CDs. So then it brings me back to my childhood.
You said you had a child, right?
Yes.
A son, a daughter?
I have a very little man. This is the man I love the most in my life.
How old is he?
He and my dad, they are these two men in my life who are the most important men. He's 5 years old, and his name is Bernard.
Bernard.
Very nice.
Hello, Bernard.
Hello, Bernard. Bernie.
Are you going to teach him some classical music? Did you listen to classical music when you were pregnant?
Because a lot. I was playing because I was working, and so he listened, I think, to all the symphonies and conversations. But when he was born and I had to practice at home, he couldn't stand it. He was crying every time I was taking my every time when I was taking my instrument, he started crying. So he was really making me to stop playing
because he wants attention.
Also, but I think, I don't know, maybe he didn't like it that much. Today, when I ask him if he would like to play any instrument, he always says no.
No. I have enough of it.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe piano. He's like, no. I'm like, violin? No. Cello? No. Sax? Drums? No.
So, I want to play with the toys. We have a small advertisement break.
He's so obsessed about Transformers and Power Rangers, so that's his thing.
Cool. All right, let's come back to that.
He's having a right childhood. Well, we have our last advertisement break, so we'll be back in a minute for our last 5 minutes. Stay tuned. This is Homesick at Home with Anjim.
Радио
Ван. Пока все путешествуют, мы работаем. Реклама на Радио Ван. Работает, работает и работает. Работает, 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 работает.
Կազմակերպությանը անհրաժեշտ են on-line խաղավարուհիներ, ֆիքսված բարձր աշխատավարձ եւ բոնուսներ։ Մանրամասների համար զանգահարել 044 00 2020 հեռախոսահամարով։
99-летию Первой Республики посвящается. 3 июня. Ереван. Площадь Республики. Мировая премьера грандиозного мега-шоу от The Black Blues Оркестра и Владимира Аветисяна. The Anthology of Blues. Мегаватты звука, мегатонны света, мегаэкран, мега-шоу с участием мегазвезд блюза. Моника Грин, Линдси Буэно, Линда Мол, Реми Абрам, Дан Ариса и многие другие. 3 июня. Площадь Республики. Вход свободный. Концерт состоится при поддержке Министерства культуры Армении и мэрии Еревана.
Воспитанные куколки снимают все, кроме шляп. Ночной клуб Синди. Шоу-программа с участием любимых исполнителей и не только. Ночной клуб Синди. По новому адресу. Мясникяна, 36/3. Синди 099 90 69 69.
Незабываемый отдых в Болгарии. На курорте «Солнечный берег». Спешите заранее забронировать авиабилеты отель до 1 июля и воспользуйтесь фантастической скидкой. Бронируйте заранее и путешествуйте выгодно.
Прямые рейсы с 5 июля.
Престиж Тур.
Залог престижного отдыха.
Саятнова, 18. Телефон 52 87 75.
Աջարաբեթն արդեն Հայաստանում է։ Բարձր գործակիցները, տարատեսակ բոնուսներն ու շահավետ ակցիաներն արդեն սպասում են ձեզ։ Կատարեք խաղադրույք այստեղ եւ պարտված տոմսի դեպքում հենց ստացեք ձեր գումարի մի մասը բոնուսային ակցիայի շրջանակում։ Աջարաբեթ
Для рекламы звоните 540002.
Where is home?
Follow Od Rafiki. He knows the way. Oh, and Ina too.
Hakuna Matata!
Homesick at home.
English-speaking show. Homesick at home.
Hakuna Matata is always with us. And we're back for the last couple of minutes. And Rafi, I think you have a very good question regarding
I've got a request.
Name.
Because
it's
a beautiful name, and I was wondering if it's this Anjim is a traditional Kazakh name.
No, not at all. No. It's I also, when I was a kid, I always had difficulties even in my country that kids couldn't remember my name. So I used to ask my grandma, like, why do I have
Why doesn't
such
anybody else have this name?
Why do I have such a difficult name? Nobody remembers it. And she told me, she's like, no, you just don't understand. You have a very special name.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually my name is it's a fairy tale. There is a fairy tale about Anjim and her brother Shariar. They used to be kids of a Han. And so,
which is like a lord or a king of a region, a small region.
Sort of, because when we had nomads, we didn't have those countries. We have nations, and they all had their lands, and each land had a Han or something. And no, but they were Hans, only like not that many. But it's a fairy tale. So the story goes that this Han, he had these two kids, twins, and when they were born. And he had to leave for war, so some of his enemies probably they stole those two kids and they wanted to kill them. So there was an old lady who apparently was a witch or something. So she found those two kids drowning in a river. So she took care of them and she raised them. And when they grew up, she told them that who they are actually, where they're coming from, who is their father. And she told them, like, you have to go and you have to fight for you have to be there where you belong to. And so Shariar and Anjim, they went and they fought with dragons and many different heroes back then. And at the end they won. So Shariar, he became a new Han, and Anjim, his sister, she was always his right hand. She was always there for him. She was supporting him, and she was the princess. Let's say.
Right.
But apparently, also in a very old Arabic language, it means like sky full of stars.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
So it has beautiful meaning. And today, when I understand all this story and everything, I love my name, and I'm super thankful to my grandmother that I have a special name. So indeed, it's very special name.
Yeah. Do you feel like that name has kind of made you the person you are, just by having that kind of name?
I believe that name can influence somehow your life destiny or give you certain character. I think so.
Yeah. So in this example, she fought for everything.
Yes. So I'm fighting my entire life for for my place where I belong to. Yeah. But the thing is, I never met any other Anjim. It never happened to me because, even for example, in social media, when you type my name, there is me and I think one other girl who appears in the whole world.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow, that's huge, actually. The whole world.
In the
right?
whole world, you cannot find that many Anjim. So, maybe I should talk to her once. How does she feel about her name?
Totally.
Because we are only 2 or 3 in this world.
You never reached out to her? I'd be curious now, actually, now that you mention it. What's the connection? I wonder if you guys, have anything in common.
No idea.
Other than the name, of course.
Maybe I will find her and ask her.
Oh, very cool.
We're about to finish our show. I told you that it flies really
always happens
fast.
so fast.
It was so nice to have you in our studio. What a positive and talented young lady.
Yes, very much so.
We hope that next time we will see your name on posters outside and the banners outside.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been really fun and I'm happy to be here, and thanks again to my best friend Arpinik for taking me here, bringing me to Armenia and to Radio Van.
Thank you very much, Arpinik.
It was really, really nice to meet you, and hope this is not the last time we're seeing you. This was Homesick at Home on Radio Van, and but still stay tuned because we're gonna listen to, after the advertisement, we're gonna listen to the exclusive strings performing right on air. This was Anjim's group.
Yes, and if you'd like to hear more about Anjim, you can find her on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That's ANZHIM. or listen for the exclusive strings.
Yes, and thanks for being with us tonight once again. Have a safe flight back home.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you, with the Armenian mountains, you made a little home here, so you'll have the desire to come back here again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you for our listeners. This was Homesick at Home. Tune in next Friday. We're gonna have a new guest. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.